Hi, it's us, Cocktail Shaker Boys. We're just going to share some cocktail making tips with you, things that can be learned through experience or by finding out how to do it right and not learning the hard way. Steve, I think we're going to give you 5 tips, but I think you're going to start us off, aren't you?
Okay, I'll start. First tip from us is when you're using your shakers, this is our funky new shaker we've got called the Bullet, but when you're using your shakers, don't pour in carbonated drinks, so lemonades or anything called soda water, into shaker, because obviously the minute that you then shake it, you're then going to be redecorating your kitchen potentially, because it's going to explode. So tip number 1, don't use carbonated drinks in your shaker.
What good advice, can't argue with that, can you?
So Andy, you've got a bit of a thing about ice, haven't you?
I have, absolutely. I've got a big thing about ice, don't get me started. Thing about ice is, make sure that you keep the ice in the shakers. The idea of having ice in your cocktails is that it cools the drink. But look, see that bit there? That is designed to keep the ice in the shaker. Now, I know that's not how bars in London do it, or in big cities, because what they want to do is they want to give you an oversized glass and charge you £9 for a cocktail, and make you think you've got a lot of liquid. But of course, after a couple of minutes or so, all you've got is what tastes like a lolly. So the idea of the ice is to cool the drink, but keep the ice in the shaker, and you pour it through that, and then you've got a nice cool drink, but no ice in it. Tip number 2.
Tip number 3 is quite an obvious one actually. Citrus and cream. They really don't mix for the obvious reason that they will curdle. So if you have lemon juice, which are used in a lot of our drinks, or limes, obviously, and don't use those in anything that is creamy, because it will curdle. Tip number 3.
Tip number 4 is about if you're making cocktails yourself and you want to experiment with trying different things, great. I mean, that's what we do, so we encourage you to do the same. Just be conscious of the colours you're putting together. So if you're using something like Bacardi or gin or vodka or silver tequila, that's quite a good base because it's colourless, so anything else you put with it will be fine. But obviously if you're mixing things with brandy or whiskey, which are a golden colour, the risk is you might end up with something which tastes fantastic but which looks a bit like mud, so it's not going to look that appealing really. So that's tip number 4.
The 5th and final tip from us, which I've now forgotten, but it is going to be, that's right, when you're doing your drinks, always put in the mixer in first, not the spirit. That way, if you knock the drink over, you forget what you're doing and you have to start again, you haven't used your expensive ingredients and you haven't thrown those away. So tip number 5 is use the mixer, or pour the mixer in first and then put in the spirits afterwards. So, hope you found those useful, and good luck with your cocktail making at home, and we will see you soon. Many thanks from the Cocktail Shaker Boys.